Okay, so welcome, and we're going to feel. There's lots of thinking going on, and I think if I have a theme today, then it's more feeling, because that's the one that's usually out of balance. There's normally lots of thinking and not so much feeling. So bring our focus to feeling for our practice today, and it's very apt as we are practicing emotion, movement, emotion, feeling. Yeah, so we start lying down. Lying down comfortable on the ground in Shavasana. Let's start laying the body down horizontal, so our body becomes like the horizon, like the land. We can feel the land of our body landing on the ground. Good. Breathing into the nostrils, maybe closing the eyes to begin, just so we can really get into this feeling sensual body, and out through the mouth just to release. Maybe some sound, some sighing. Fill the body with air and let it all out. See if you can empty out a bit more than you took in. Empty, empty, empty. Good. And let's just take the arms above the head and get ourselves a nice stretch. Bring the legs together. Expand, extend. Breathe in deeply. Yeah. And now we're going to just see if we can stretch one side at a time. So we're going to push the left heel away, relax the right leg, take hold of the left wrist, breathing into the left side of the body, relaxing the right side. And on the exhale, push that left heel away, pulling on the left wrist. Let the head roll over to rest on the upper right arm there. So really lengthening through the left side. You might even find the left buttock wants to help that extension by tensing slightly, and that's okay. Because it's mostly on the side and then the shoulder and then the waist that we want to get long. One more breath in and release. Let the arm go, breathe out. Just feel a bit more open, and let's level it up. Let's take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Relax the left side now. And push the right heel away. Breathe into the right side of the body, the whole right side. Give it some air. Breathing out, push the right heel away. Pulling on the right wrists, going over the head slightly. And then let the head roll over to the left arm. Just let it rest there. Getting really long through the right side. Give it lots of inhale. Filling the whole of the right side, but even more exhale through the nostrils. Long and slow and steady. One more breath in. And release. Yeah. Release, let go. Let's feel the body on the ground. A bit more space in the shoulders now, hopefully. Let's move the arms with the breath. So breathing into the nostrils, out through the nostrils, lifting the arms up over the head and alongside the body. The inhale, the arms go up. Try and keep this movement smooth and steady. This is good for focusing the mind. So the mind is busy or occupied or focused on keeping the movement coordinated with your breath. And the breath is smooth, even and steady. Inhaling, the arms come up. Exhaling, the arms come forward. So really centering and focusing, feeling the breath, feeling the movement of the arms. And the movement of the arms is very easy. It's almost like the breath is moving the arms for you. The arms feel light and airy. Let the arms just rest by the sides, and let's give our back what it wants now. So we're going to bend the knees, hug the knees, have a little rock and a roll. I really like that feeling of the back of the pelvis, getting some massage there. So move around into the areas, that feel most releasing, feel most pleasurable. Yeah, we're allowed. It's good. Looking for what feels good for the body, giving it some good feeling, and release. Release always feels so good. Releasing tension. And now we're going to breathe in, take the knees away. Breathing out, pull the knees into the body, lift the head towards nose towards the knees, lifting the tail off the ground, making yourself very small, and then inhaling, taking the knees away, flattening the back to the ground, bringing the head back down. Exhaling. Inhaling. Extend the arms, exhaling. Breathe out fully, squeeze all the breath out. Then the inhale, expansive. Even take the arms away if you want to. Take them above the head. You can extend that movement if you want to get a bit bigger. But squeeze into the small ball at the other end. Breathing out. Inhaling. Take the legs as far away as you wish, but making sure you've got the back pressed into the ground. Exhaling. So moving with your breath in time and exhaling, and moving within the range that feels good for you today. And it may be that, you start off quite small and it gets bigger, or you start off big and it gets smaller. That's okay. Whatever feels good. We'll just play around. Sometimes actually I just want to do this small movement, breathing in and breathing out. And sometimes I want to go bigger, expanding and contracting. Let's do one more of those. Inhale, moving the arms if you want. Exhale, we're all coming to a small, tiny little curled up ball. And then put the feet on the floor and the hands to the ground. The heels are close to the buttocks. Their feet are hips width apart, parallel, palms flat down, chin tucked into the chest. Use the inhale to lift the hips into this moving bridge. And again, move gradually. Maybe the first one is quite small. You think, oh, I'm just feeling my back. So again, get into feeling this and making sure that you keep the thighs even space. So think about the knees actually being an even space between each other. One way of thinking about that, you might want to imagine there's something between the knees, so you're kind of holding it. So the knees don't splay out and they also don't come together. This is keeping the thighs even. So we're keeping everything in alignment, if you like, the joints, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Good. And just sometimes making sure that your feet aren't pointing out, making sure that they're parallel. Otherwise, that's going to affect the angle of your knees. They're not going to be in line. Good. Maybe as you come up, you might want to lift the arms up as well, make it a bigger movement. Inhaling and exhaling, rolling the spine down. And then that part, the lower part, back part, you really need to kind of curl those abdominals in to get that little bit down individually on the ground. So we get this lovely snake-like feeling, so that when you, again, bring the back down, you roll it down, and maybe the back comes off the ground, and then you roll up, inhaling. Keep that chin tucked into the chest, maybe even closing the eyes and feeling this a bit more. But really think about keeping everything lively and fueled with the breath, rolling down on the exhale. Let's do one more, but this time we're going to hold this bridge. So keep it still. You can press into the arms, don't forget, press into the feet, use your pelvic floor, that mula bandha, that will really sustain. And actually, if you're finding that difficult to locate, probably because your buttocks are working and doing all the work, we're going to switch those off. And the way to do that is difficult in this position, but if you come up on your toes, switch the buttocks off, draw up the pelvic floor, and then bring the heels down. And it just feels totally different. If you want to, and you can get your arms or shoulders closer together, you can indent the fingers, squeeze the shoulders together, and this gives you a bit more lift if you want that, but you don't need to do that. Otherwise, keep the hands on the ground. Keep the neck still, because it's in a precarious position here. One more breath in, and as you breathe out, take the hands away if they're there. Roll down slowly. Bring the back down to the ground. Oh, it feels nice to feel the support of the ground, and counterpose by hugging the knees. Good. Have a little rock and roll again. Enjoy. Now we're just going to get into we'll still stay a little bit longer here because I think we want to just get into the hips before we change. So I'm going to do some hip circles or knee circles, whichever way you want to look at it. Start off with the knees close by to your body and hands on top of the kneecaps. Inhale, take the knees away. Exhale, knees fall away. This is the important part. This is the releasing, and then you bring them back into the body. So it might take a little while. Maybe the first time it might feel a little bit tentative and the hips might not be quite ready. You find just by having these circling movements and by supporting the movement with your breath coming in and out through the nostrils, you feel the hips will just give way, give you a bit more space. And it's so smooth. These circles make it smooth. We were just sort of statically holding there. Kind of the resistance is much more present. Whereas if we move with the breath and we're circling and we're not kind of expecting anything, we're just moving and then feeling the movement. Then gradually a bit more space becomes available to us. We'll go the other way now. So knees are far away from you. Together, breathe in, breathe out, pull the knees in and let them open up. Let the feet come away from each other as well. So we're really getting these knees to move through space and just feeling the breath. Imagining the breath is in the hip joint. So it's creating space, creating spaciousness around any kind of tiredness or tightness. Yeah, really get lots of release in this area because the hip joint's a big part of the body. It takes a lot, you know, it does a lot of work. So it can be quite achy around there. Hug the knees again. And we'll just roll onto the side now. Okay. Coming up onto all fours. We're moving gradually. So on all fours, make sure there's space between the knees, about hips width apart, feet flat behind, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows nice and springy. I'm going to do these opposite movements to cross lateral movements. So extending the right arm and the left leg, making sure we keep the shoulders down away from the ears and breathing out, bring the hand down. Left hand and right leg extending in like a lovely straight line, pointing the toe or pushing the heel, either is fine. And then exhaling, bringing the hand down. So really see if you can take it to the end of the inhale and then soften on the exhale, breathe everything out into the ground. Inhale. Extend, look forwards, exhale, looking down at the ground. All the time keeping a little bit of softness in the elbow. It's a very, you know, the tendency when you're coming up into this is to straighten the elbow and the shoulder comes forward, then we're hunched here in the neck. We want to keep space here in the neck. Exhale. And also we now have a slight bend in the elbow or soft elbow. Will make you use the whole arm and also support the wrist a little bit more. Keeping the hand engaged with the ground. Breathing in, breathing out, changing your perspective. Feeling the body, feeling the breath, staying with that. Noticing when the mind wanders off somewhere. And at that point, when you've noticed the mind wanders off, that's like a big arrow. The noticing is like a big arrow to point you back to your breath, to your present moment awareness. Inhaling, exhaling. One more of these. Inhaling and exhaling. Just feeling that expanding sense of the breath. Sit back into the heels. Slide the hands forward. Bring the forehead to the ground. Really let the hips sink back into the heels. Breathing into the wings, into the back ribs. Breathe into those. Fill them with air. So really giving them some space. It always feels like a bit of an internal massage there. You know, think about all those little intercostal muscles between those ribs getting expanded. Really helps to ease any tension and create more space. Yeah, really feel into that. Okay, so we're going to move again. Moving and breathing. So looking forwards at your hands there. Fingers spread wide, hands really engaged with the ground. Use the inhale to come up to all fours, and the exhale, we're taking those shoulders back. See how my neck is coming forwards, and the chest is coming forwards, letting the hips come down, but not reaching the ground. We're not having the groin on the floor. You shouldn't be able to do that if you're really keeping those arms strong. And sit back into the heels on the out breath. Inhale, exhale. So whatever speed you're going, try and keep the pace even. So if it's a bit faster, try and keep the movement steady. That's the pace. And feel free to go really slowly if you have that breath. Inhale Exhale. Exhale everything out. You sit back. Feel that lovely lengthening through the sides of the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Take the chest forwards and upwards. Heart is flying upwards to the skies. Inhale. Exhale. See if there's a bit more space at either end for you to sit into. Would you sit back? Inhaling to all fours, or to open up, take the shoulders back, expand across the chest, as well as the front of the body. It's like two ways, across and also vertical, so horizontal and vertical. We're really feeling that sense of expanding the whole of the front of the body there. Inhale and exhale. Just sit back again into the heels, have a little rest there, and we'll sweep the hands back into the pose of the child. Back to the hands on the ground there. Really let the shoulders relax. Have a little wriggle there. Breathe in through the nostrils, sigh out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nostrils. Out through the mouth. Good. Okay. So, we're going to take the hands forwards again. We're going to come into downward dog. So take those arms forward, making sure maybe the forearm to the elbow is in contact with the ground, and then come up here. Then you have got a good position between the hands and the feet. Once you tuck the toes under, breathing in, and lift the knees off the ground. Let's have a little bit of a walk of the dog. So first of all, knees are soft, or bent even actually. Bend the knees as much as you need to get that back really long. And by that I mean pushing into the hands, right into the fingertips, like you're pushing a door away. And then from the fingertip to the base of the spine, these are 2 points moving away from each other in space, getting really long through the body, keeping that tummy tucked in as if the abdominals are flying upwards and inwards. So lots of length in the waist, open between the shoulder blades. That's a tricky one, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, spreading them widthways, soft elbows. Now we're going to have a little bit of a walk of the dog. So we're going to push the right heel down, bend the left knee, push the left heel down, bend the right knee. And we'll just try that. Move within your range, but keep long in the body. This is the important thing. I think it's better with downward dog to focus more on the lengthening of the spine first. With bent knees, this is better. And then gradually, your backs, your thighs, your hamstrings will get a bit more springy and supple. That's a nice word, supple. So find out where you are with this now, getting the backs of the legs a bit more supple, strong back, strong thighs, open, everything open, breathe. In and out. Now walking the feet towards the hands. And let's just let the body hang here. Here. Breathing in, breathing out, let the head hang. Knees are bent, we're in a ragdoll. Make some sound on that out breath. That really does help. And we slowly uncurl, keeping the knees bent. So lifting from the base of the spine. And imagine as each little vertebrae lifts, it's getting more space between itself and the previous. Okay. Lift the shoulders up, breathing in. And out through the mouth. Good. Just feeling your feet on the ground. Lift the toes, place them down. And again, lift the shoulders up, breathing in. Breathing out, release out through the mouth, let the shoulders drop. Lift the heels off the ground, pushing off the toes. See how that feels? A little bit of stretching the legs, bring them down slowly. And we'll try one more of these, breathing in, lift the shoulders up. Hold for a second, out through the mouth. Okay, good. Just roll the shoulders back a little bit more. Let's get this whole chest area more lively. And the movement of the shoulders also is kind of coming down into the body. You feel it in your knees and in your legs. And you feel almost you're pushing up from the ground as you straighten up through the knees. Rolling the shoulders back. Nothing dramatic there, we're just opening. And then forwards with the shoulders, taking them upwards, forwards, down, back. Let the knees bend with that. So you're really getting this lovely wave through your body. The wave, the watery body, feeling the emotion. Yeah. Good. Then we're going to take the feet apart. Knees are nice and bent. And we just come into these twists. Easy, loosening, liberating twists. So let the arms be heavy. It's nothing to do with the arms. We just let them go. Let them swing around. Let the backs of the hands go smack here into the lower back. Yeah. But keeping our center. The whole time, keep our center. From here to here, this is staying steady and centered. Feel that silver thread from the top of your crown going right up into the universe, and from the feet, or from the base, the roots going down into the center of the earth. Really feel this continual centered feeling. No matter what's happening, whatever's coming at you, around, whatever the storms, there is a center, a clear center. Let's just get into this feeling. Think about feeling rather than thinking. Thinking about feeling. How about feeling? So get that lower back and even the buttock, wherever you can reach around there. Give that a little bit of a wake up, a little pummeling. Close the hips there. They might need a little bit of tension. The hips, really important. Those hip flexors, because they tend to be like this a lot when we're sitting. A little bit of tension there. We'll take the hands, fingers to the chest. Again, let some sound. Helping these, whatever's there, helping it to move along, not getting stuck with any particular feeling or sense or idea or thought, just keeping it moving. This is the idea. We're not trying to get things out, we're just trying to keep things moving naturally, easily. So nothing gets in the way and gets kind of cloggy. Okay. Even storms sometimes are good because they blow things out and change things. And then just actually, let's take it to the head as well. Yeah. Maybe there's a bit of storms. Storms come into the head, so we're just going to break up some of those clouds. Like getting the fingers, as if you're getting one of those really good head massages or a good shampoo. So try and get every little inch of your scalp. Yeah, how good that feels. It's going to make our hair really big. Oh, yeah. And then a little bit in the jaw and the face. Give that little bit of a massage in the cheeks. Jaw is a very, very typical place for tension to find its way. We don't even notice it. So by the end of the day, we're kind of grimacing. We don't realize. There's a lot of pressure. And the easiest way to release that pressure is smiling. So that's good. But let's get these ears as well. These are good release points. So as if you're uncurling that curl in the ear, we just give it a little bit of a press and a pull out. Not too strong, but just giving it a little bit of pressure. And in particular on the lobes, give those a few little squeezes and pulls. Good. Put the palms together. And let's just shake that off. Yeah. And just a little bit of reconnection. So we're just going to do a couple of these. Lifting the knee and meeting the opposite hand. And we're going to do this quite slowly, actually, just so we really get into feeling. I think to really feel, slowing down is probably the number one thing. So doing things a little bit slower than usual. Lifting the knee, meeting with the opposite hand, letting the other arm just float through space. Smiling, yeah, keeping it light. Yeah. Good. And we're just going to open up now a little bit. So just do one more of these. Lifting the elbow, the right elbow with the opposite, with the left knee at the same time, and then opening out to the side. That's going to be a bit more challenging for the balance, and then the opposite. So we get a lovely opening across the body, the front of the body, breathing in and out, keeping that nice center, this center. Yeah, breathing in and out through the nostrils the whole time, supporting that movement smoothly and slowly, opening. Yeah, front of the body is just getting a bit more shiny now, feeling good. Okay, so we're going to come to some standing. Trikonasana, triangle. Come to the front of the mat or working area. Just check your feet, give the toes a little wiggle, and realize, well, I'm on the ground here. Yep, in my body. Soft knees. Stand tall. How to do that? Just lifting the chest, strong belly, strong back. Feel yourself held, holding yourself. left foot, put all the weight there. So we're going to step back with the right. Get the hips level with the long edge of the mat. Breathe in, lifting the arms and lifting the chest. This lift up and opening, creating more space for the air. Exhale, keep that space, but bring the arms down. Also the shoulders sit down, the chest lifts. Breathe in and breathing out, reaching over to the left and down. So getting lots of length through that right side. So opening the chest all the time, shoulders back, down, neck in line with the spine. And turn the head, if your neck is okay, to look up at the right fingers there. Give the right fingers a little wiggle, keep your eyes and attention interested. So all the time now thinking about the expansion and extension of all these kind of points moving away from each other in space. Base of the spine, top of the head. Think about that left big toe pushing into the ground away from that right hip. Think about the right big toe pushing into the ground away from that right hip there. Shoulders open, neck long. Breathe. Use the inhale to come up, bending into the left knee to soften that. And exhale, lowering the arms down. Bend into the right knee and bring yourself back to the front of the mat. Ah, yeah. Definitely a bit more open in the front of that hip there. Step back with the left foot now. Get the feet level, even weight. Hips. Breathing in, lift the arms, lift the chest, keep that lift and lengthen the front of the body, bring the arms down. Breathing in, open the chest and let the shoulders sit back when that happens. Breathing out, reaching over to the right and down. Open. Yeah, feel your breath in your body, soften the knees, feel your feet on the ground, wiggle the toes. See if you can really feel everything. Feel the breath. Everything lengthening, creating space. Breathe deeply. All these points moving away from each other in space. Feel the center, maybe in some ways the heart being at the center of this. It's a good way of feeling. Use the inhale and the bend of the right knee to come up. And the exhale, lower the arms down. Bend into the left knee and bring yourself back to the front of the mat. Take a moment there. Let's give everything a little bit of a shake up. So feet down the ground, knees slightly bent. So we're just going to shake the knees and the hips and the shoulders. Yeah, a bit of shaking to release and reset. Kind of shake up all the atoms of the body. So now we're going to take a step back, a big step back. We're going to do peaceful warrior, again, expanding through the side body. Weight on the left foot, big step back with the right. Yeah, let it land there. Maybe make it a bit wider if you need to. Just give the hips a little bit of a swivel and find the center. Think about also, not the center, just that's one position, but also the other dimension, pointing the tailbone down, strong belly, softish knees, not bent, but soft, lively. Breathing in, lift the arms up. Breathing out, bring the arms down to shoulder height. Breathing in, lift the chest, drop the shoulders down. Breathing out, we're going to bend into the left knee, making sure it's following the line of the toes, wherever your toes are. Also at the same time, pushing into that back foot. We've got these opposing forces, nice and strong. Keep lifting the chest, long front of the body, strong in that base. Now we're going to come into peaceful. Breathing in, breathing out. The right fingers want to go back as far as possible and then down. As the right fingers go down, the left arm goes up, floats up, effortless. And then the left hand turns, so the hand is facing down over the body and then over the mat. Keep that bend in the left knee. Really keep that. In fact, bend it a little bit more because it might have straightened up a little bit. And then looking up at the ceiling on the inside of this arm to keep this arm in a good position. Lean heavily back onto this right leg, so make it strong. Make it a good anchor. So we get lots of length through the left side. Good, breathe. Coming up on the inhale, back to warrior two. Breathing out, sinking into that a little bit more. As you sink forwards, or not forwards, sink down, into this, equal weight into that back foot. This is the key. Inhale up. Exhale, let the arms float down. Soft, soft, soft. Bend into the right knee a lot so that you can spring back to the front of the mat. Give the legs another little shake. Give the shoulders and the hips. Good. Weight on the right, big step back with the left. Good. Get the even weight between the feet to start. position of the pelvis here. Hips, breathe in, lift the arms up. Breathe out, bring the arms down to shoulder height. Breathing in, expand the chest, drop the shoulders down. Breathing out, bending into the right knee, making sure it's in line with the toes, not collapsing inwards. Opening the hips. At the same time, pressing into that back heel. So it's a really strong dynamic there. So you feel super grounded. So now we can, with that super strong ground, we can come into peaceful. Breathing in, breathing out, reaching back with that left hand as far as we can, then down. Really plant the hand, holding onto that leg, strong leg to hold on to. Reaching up with the right, turn the palm. Palm is facing down over the body, reaching over the body. Yeah, this is invigorating. Getting this length in the side body from that hip right to the fingertips. Keep the bend in the front knee and the right knee. So maybe bend it a tiny bit more, go a bit deeper into that. Just to remind you, you're in warrior, peaceful warrior. Come up on the inhale. And sink into warrior 2 on the exhale, just for a breath. Inhaling up, let the arms float down on the exhale. Soft, soft, soft arms. Then into left knee a lot, so come back to the front of the mat. That was a big step. Give everything a little shake up again. Yeah, let's enjoy our bodies. So we can get into feeling this body. So knees, hips, shoulders. That's some sound. Feet wide. Feet parallel. Let's come into a forward bend. So we're going to start off by interlinking the fingers. Again, opening this chest. Let the hands just rest on the back there. Lift the chest, look up. Take that chest forward. So again, lengthening the front of the body. Soft knees, not locked, but straight back. Forward bending, breathing out. When you can't go any further with a straight back, then let the head come down. Hands still resting on the back to begin. Weight of the head. Maybe just turn the head as if you're saying no, just to encourage the neck to relax. Feel the weight of the head. And then let the arms come over the body. Still interlinked with the fingers. Just let the weight of the arms hang there. Slightly soften the knees, so don't lock the knees. Feel the toes on the ground. Breathe. Yeah, feel the release there. Deep in breath, long, slow out breath through the nostrils. Now still interlinked, bring the hands to the center of your back, where you think is about the center. And then we're just going to draw a circle with these hands, stirring up those waters. Yeah, feels good. And then going the other direction. And as you go the other direction, this is like winding you back up. So you might want to bend the knees to come back up. Yeah. And we're going to just stand for a second. And then we're going to bring the feet, come together slightly. We're going to come into a squat to release these hips. So I would have the feet slightly out and then come into the squat. Adjust the position of the feet, whatever feels comfortable for you. So I would suggest wherever the knees are going, as wide as you can, then the feet are in the same plane, if you like. And let's just release the back and the hips, body hanging between the knees. If your heels are off the ground, you're going to be a little bit precarious. So put something underneath them to give you more support. Let the arms flop onto the ground, release the backs of the hands on the ground, and just let the head as if it's going to fall into the hands. Release the head down. Back of the neck, give it some space across the back, along the length of the spine, but also across between the shoulder blades. Breathe in through the nostrils, out through the mouth, sigh. Make some sound. Notice how that feels. Where does that sound resonate in your body? I can feel that definitely in my heart space there. It might be in the back, might be in the neck, might be in the head, the jaw. And slowly coming up, lifting the head, bringing the hands together, pressing them together, and then trying to sit up tall. Now you might find when you do this that you're sitting, you're falling backwards. If that's you, put some more support underneath your heels. Otherwise, you're going to lift the chest, lengthen, drop the shoulders down, back of the neck long. So very engaged in the spine, abdominals, pressing the elbows into the inside of the knees, pressing the hands together. The heart is coming towards the hands, these hands in prayer position, Anjali Mudra, beautiful word, Anjali Mudra. Like the angels. Yeah, good. Breathe deeply and then take the hands to the floor. Press into the hands and let's come into a ragdoll again. Release. In through nostrils, out to the mouth. Don't forget, you can also rest your elbows on your knees if you prefer that. Make sure the important thing is you let your neck really relax and feel the weight of the head hanging there. Let's have a little sway. So take the weight into the right foot fully and then swaying slowly across, transferring that weight onto the left foot. Taking some time just to get into feeling. How does this feel? Sending the weight from one to the other. Is there one leg that seems stronger? Do you have more sensation in one side of the body than the other? Just noticing that, how that feels, and then coming to center and then feeling ourselves being pulled up. It feels like it's just happening. There's an invisible thread, a little helping force that's unraveling us. Keep the knees bent, leave the arms heavy. So we're kind of being brought to life, if you like, standing. Energy coming up through the spine to the top of the head, energy showering down over us, refreshing and revitalizing us. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. So let's come into balance. We're going to come into tree balance. This feels like a nice one to do today. Weight on the left foot, making sure that standing knee is bent, looking and finding a point of focus for your eyes. Breathe. Before you even think about placing this right foot, steady yourself. You might just have a toes of the right foot on the ground. You might be needing to hold on to something, that's okay too. But if you're holding on to something, don't lean into it. Just have it there that you can kind of take your hand on and off it. This is practicing balancing. Foot on the ankle or the calf, not on the knee, or on the high inside thigh. If you're on the thigh, pressing into the thigh, pressing the thigh back. So we've got this center line which keeps us steady, opening the hip, lifting the chest in this center line. Breathing in, lift the arms up. Bring the hands together above the head and then bring them down to the center line. Good. Lifting the chest, dropping the shoulders down, back of the neck long, chin slightly tucked in. Lift the toes of the left foot and place them down. Notice if you're gripping. Breathe. Focus your eyes on one point. Focus your mind on your breath and your eyes and your body. Pressing these hands together evenly. Lifting the chest towards that. Lengthening, opening all the time like a tree. Roots going down from the sole of the foot. Good. Now inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling, lower the arms down. Lift that right knee. A little wobbling there. Stay with the wobble. This is good practice for balance. And then let the right foot slowly lower down. Get the legs a bit shake. Shake the ankles, shake the knees, shake the hips. Wherever they need to go. Oh, yeah, it's nice. Revives the legs a little bit, that shaking. Weight on the right now. Eyes focused. One point that you can see in front of you, on the ground or in front of you. Breathe. Steady breath coming in and out through the nostrils. Imagine that breath is traveling in this center line. Then place the foot. Whatever you did the other side, do the same thing. Pressing to the center line. The sense from the belly up is going up, and the belly down is going down. So we have a sense of this lengthening line. Breathing in, lift the arms up. Bring the palms together. Bring them into the center line. Lifting the chest, the heart lifting in line with this beautiful prayer position. Opening across the hips. The silver thread from the crown lifting up. The roots going down into the ground, into the center of the earth. And just become tree. What is it like to move at a tree's pace? Yeah. Slow and steady, deep and wise like the trees. And also for a moment, just notice that we're all doing this together right now, and we are like a little forest connected. So we share all the wobbles, so we become and feel much more supported individually as a group. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down, slowly, slowly. And finally, lift that left knee. See how that feels. And let it go. Slowly floating down. Again, shake it all up. I'm liking these shakings. Yeah. Good. So with that, now we have this bit more balance in us. We're going to do a little universal prayer. Yeah. Become present. So we check our feet, hips width apart, parallel. Let's just lift the heels up, roll them down, lift the toes up, place them down. Feel the weight is even between the feet. So maybe let's just take the weight over to the right. Again, just really sensitizing ourselves. When we do this and focus our attention, particularly on the soles of the feet, very sensitive, but we don't think about them most of the time. And then just transitioning the weight all over to the left. So although the right foot's still on the ground, there's no weight in it. And then we bring the weight into both feet again. Now we can feel the sense of energy. I'm connected with my feet. I can feel the surface of the skin, the soles of my feet. And I feel where the weight is. Is it forward? Maybe take it forwards into the toes and roll it through the foot back into the heels, maybe even lifting the toes off the ground. And then laying the foot down. I have a sense of the center of the foot lifting slightly as arches. So nice, aware, lively feet, soft knees, open in the chest, shoulders drop down, back of the neck long, bring the hands to that chest, pressing together evenly. Yeah. This whole area is open, heart. Breathe in, breathing out, pointing the fingers towards the ground, looking down at the ground, inhaling. It's like this beautiful opening here, opening up. These two little birds moving away from each other, these two opposing forces, moving away from each other, having a little journey, then coming back together at the top. So we have this sense of connectedness, separation, and togetherness in this movement. Inhaling, yeah, this upward movement is so easy with the inhale, but we can reach up and feel expansive, and then we can come back to ourselves. So again, this is a nice symbol for balancing the inside and the outside, the external and the internal experiences. Not getting pulled out of ourselves, having a sense of our center and ourselves whilst being in the world. If we're stepping out a little bit more now, these changing times, it's important to have a sense of ourselves within the changes there. And then we bring in a little bit of gratitude, because this changes everything. So allow yourself to bring your mind, your feeling, your emotions to, what do I feel grateful for today? What is it? Allow those things to come into your consciousness, into your body, into your being, but particularly in the feeling part of that. How does it feel? How does gratitude actually feel when you bring your attention to something that gives you that feeling? Where in the body is it? How is it? It's not always in the same place, I think, maybe. Yeah, one more, breathing in, looking up and coming back into our center, the center line, letting the hands rest at the heart center. Close your eyes for a second. Feel yourself steady, stable and supported on this earth. All the feet, soles of the feet energized and lively and balanced. And feel a sense of your center, your heart, open or opening. And notice what is there for you. Is there a word or a message or an image from your heart? It's very wise, this space. Good. The hands drop down. We're going to come into, before we come to the ground, we'll do a little chair, just to get the legs a little bit more fired up. So feet hips width apart, parallel, breathing in, lift the arms up. Stretch the arms up, really lengthen through the body, lift the chest. As you breathe out, you're going to sit back into your comfortable chair, arms are coming forwards. So we get this lovely long line, and the neck stays in line with that line. So rather than looking up towards the hands, so looking down at the ground. Keep the shoulders in a good position, so they're not hunched up all the time. You notice how that switches off. If you hunch the shoulders up, it takes away from this abdominals, whereas you bring the shoulders down, I can feel them. That's a slight, subtle thing. Good. Use the inhale to come back up. Exhale, lower the arms down. It's worth doing because it feels great afterwards when you're not doing it. And now we're going to come into a forward bend. Okay, breathing in, stretch up, or take the hands to the back if you need extra support. And then breathing out, forward bend, strong belly, strong back, strong legs, straight back if you can, to the ground. Make contact with the ground, most important. So put something on the ground if you can't quite reach it, or bend the knees. Breathing in, come up onto the fingertips, look forwards. Breathing out, forward bend. Let's try that again, breathing in, just to give a bit more space in the spine. So as you come up on the fingertips, have a sense of lengthening the spine. The chest is coming forwards, the shoulders going back, and then breathing out, and the chest is coming down towards the toes, and the tail is reaching up to the sky. Breathing in, through the nostrils, sigh out through the mouth. See, there's a bit more space for you. Again, 2 points moving away from each other in space. The center of the chest coming down, base of the spine going up. Good. Okay. So we're going to just come up on the fingertips again. Bring the weight onto the left foot, step back with the right. Come into this lunge position. So getting a nice bit of expansion across the groin. If that feels too strong, you can always put the right knee on the ground and still have that little sense of extension across the groin. Otherwise, if that knee is off the ground, really think about making that leg very strong, pushing the heel back. Rest your body on your knee there, on your thigh, and the hands are also supporting you either side of that foot. Good. Now bring the right knee down. Come up onto a high knee, kneeling position. Pad that right knee up if you need to, if it feels a bit sharp there. Breathing in, lift the arms up, bring the hands together above the head and back slightly. And then exhaling, take the hips forwards, but take the arms back. So you've got this beautiful crescent moon shape. And opening again, front of the hip. But strong in that left foot, so we're not kind of completely letting that go. We're keeping the strength in the left thigh and pressing into that left foot. So we kind of feel the evenness between the right leg and the left foot. Come up on the inhale. And let's just see if we can lengthen this left leg. Maybe coming down to the ground. Could be here, it could be here. But just finding that, not pushing the knee down, thinking about pushing the big toe down. It's a slightly different feeling here. And then coming back up. Okay, now we're going to bring the hands back down to either side of the foot, tuck that right toe under, lift the right knee off the ground, send the left foot back. So we're in a plank. Okay, let's stay in this plank for a second or two. Strong body, whole body. Now bring the knees down if you want to, and we'll just slowly lower yourself down to the front of the body, or use the strength in your arms and then come down to the front of the body. Have a little rest. Backs of the hands rest on the ground. Rest on the side of the head. Breathing in, or if you prefer, you can always rest your head on your hands if that doesn't feel comfortable for your neck. But this can be, as long as it's comfortable, this can be a good release because we take turns on each side. Breathe into the nostrils. Just feel the breath, the body expanding against the ground there. It's a good feeling. Okay, let's do a few little gentle back bends. Just bring the forehead to the ground and breathe out fully. Bring the legs together. Use the inhale to lift the head, the chin, the chest, then the arms, and the fingers are going back towards the toes, and then lift the legs. So we're flying, smile. All the time the heart's going forward and the toes are going back. We're making ourselves really long. It's not just lifting. One more breath in and release down on the exhale. Turn your head the other way and relax the shoulders. Breathe. Sigh, release. We'll try another one of these. Bring the forehead to the ground, bring the legs together. Breathe out. Inhale, lift the nose, chin, chest, shoulders, arms, legs. And now we'll take the arms around and we'll take them extending them forward. So like a torpedo or Superman, if you like. Smile to release, feel the tension, take the seriousness out of it. Breathing in, breathing out. First of all, sweep the arms back. Then inhale one more time. And then exhale, let go totally. Oh, it feels good to let go. Bring the hands either side of the face here. Press into the hands. Lift your body up. Walk the hands back. And release into the back. Beautiful. Breathing in through the nostrils. Ah, yeah, we're creating space. Gradually more and more space created. More release. More connection with ourselves, our feelings, our body, our breath. Coming up onto all fours here. Tuck the toes under, breathing in. Lift the knees off the ground, breathing out, coming into downward dog. And now we're going to bring the weight to the left foot and left hand and take a big step forward. So it's hardly any weight here on the fingertips of the right hand. Big step forward. It might be a couple of steps, but you can get that eventually between the hands. So again, we've got lots of space between that right foot and the back foot. We're in lunge again. Again, rest your body on this thigh here. Hands pressed down, strong in the arms. Push that left heel back, or you can always have the knee on the ground. That's fine. Good. Just enjoy that release you're getting in the hips, the hip flexors. Good. Now bring the left knee down. Again, pad that up if you need to. One knee might be different to the other, so be ready for that. There's nothing wrong with that. So if it's sharp, if it's spiky, then yes, that's pain. So you want to really soften that. So breathing in, lift the arms up, bring the hands together. Keep the shoulders down, but the arms are going back if you can. And then exhaling, taking the hips forward. The same amount of the hips going forward, the arms are going back. So we get this lovely sense of balance. We're not precarious. We're pressing into the lower left leg, the front of the foot, or if that's too much for the foot, you can always tuck the toe under. That's okay too. Opening the chest, heart's flying upwards. Good. And then bring the hands down, back down to the ground. And we're going to lengthen that right leg, pushing the big toe of the right foot into the ground. And lengthen that leg. And the body might be able to come down to that leg. Breathe, give it a bit of space. Then come back up. And we're just going to lift that left knee off the ground. We're back in lunge. And then we're going to take a step forward with that left foot. So put the weight on the right foot, maybe take a bit of weight off the left hand and step forward. And simply take the weight back, sit back, extend the legs in front of you. Have a little bounce in the knees. Yeah, it feels much more easeful now. We're on the ground, bounce the knees. We're going to just slow everything down, coming down to the ground. So let's have a last little moment. So lay the body down slowly. Extend the fingers towards the toes. Keep breathing in and out through the nostrils. Slowly lower down. Lowering down slowly. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Keeping it soft. Within that kind of tension, there's a softness around it. So we're taking care of that. It's no strain until you are lying down and there's absolutely no effort, effortless, much more easeful. Release, relax. Good. Breathe into the whole body. Release everything. And we're just going to put the feet on the ground, slide them back up. Hug the knees for a moment. Breathe. Extend the legs. Take the weight off the legs. Reach the arms up. Rotate the wrists and ankles. Just to create some ease, some softness. This is just softening the body. Softening the mind, the thoughts, the feelings. And this lovely circling, gentle circling. Other way now. Just soft movements, easy movements, supportive movements. And then bringing these again into the body. Placing the soles of the feet on the ground, sliding them away slightly. So there's space between the buttocks and the feet, and there's space apart between the feet. So a wide stance for our lying twist. Take the arms out to the sides, palms flat down. Breathing in deeply. Breathing out, let the knees fall to the left and the head go over to the right. Release. To the end of the out breath, and the in breath lifts the knees up. And the out breath, the knees go to the right, the head goes over to the left. Close your eyes now. You don't need to see anything to be able to do this. Doesn't require balance. Just using the breath and feeling the internal experience, breathing in and breathing out. The only thing we're trying to do here is make the movement and the breath slower and deeper. Breathing in and breathing out. So whatever's happening, the only thing to remember is whatever way the knees are going, the head is going in the opposite direction and moving in time. There is a sense of coordination here and smoothness and steadiness. If you want to hang around on one side and just relax there for a few breaths, that's great. And you can try the other way as well. Whatever you do, just make sure it's even on both sides and you're moving with the breath. And you're breathing deep and long. And how to breathe deep and long? Slow the breath down, become more relaxed. Lengthen the out breath. This is the key. Come back to center. Finishing. So you've done an even amount. Come back to center. And you can either stay here if you want to in this semi-supine. You can get your legs up against the wall or on some furniture if you want, or just let the legs slide away, let the arms slide away from the body. Or actually maybe place the hands on the body if that feels good. Placing them wherever they need some kind of healing, some calm, some attention. Maybe the heart needs it, maybe the belly, maybe the hips, maybe the eyes, the throat. But just placing them gently, just the weight of the hands on the body. And closing the eyes. A couple of minutes here, so if you want to cover yourself, put your socks on for a moment, and you can do that. And closing the eyes, taking your focus inwards. Breathe. Breath coming in. Breath going out. Softening. Softening. All there is to do here is soften. There's nothing to do, nothing to think about. If it's your tendency to use this as thinking time, try something different. Notice when those busy thoughts come in and just say, oh, there you are. Just wait a minute, put it to one side and come back to your breath, back to your body, back to your feeling experience, present moment awareness. Let the body go. Let it sink into the ground, softening, softening. With every little natural out breath, feel the body is softening. All the little particles, all the little parts that make our body is just getting more spacious, more like the earth, sinking into the earth, being absorbed back into the earth, being held by this earth. Just feeling the breath. Breath coming in and breath going out. Just slowly coming back to the day, moving your hands and feet, arms and legs, breathing, stretching, hugging your knees, doing whatever feels good, whatever feels kind to yourself, whatever feels reviving, coming back, taking some time, breathing, moving, stretching, revitalizing, revivifying. We're coming back from the dead, back from the corpse at least. Yeah, notice how you feel. How does it feel now compared to the beginning? Moving your body Is there more space? Is there more a sense of connection with yourself? Notice, is there? And as you come to seated, just connecting with the outside. We're coming from the inside, going to the outside. So, oh, this is the outside. Let's just give it a little bit of love. A bit of love there. And bring the hands together. And make them really create some heat. Create some fire, create some sparks. Let's get those sparks going and let's get them sparking the heart. Bring the hands to the heart. And bring yourself into that center of the center, that center of your heart. And in this beautiful, fertile space, bring to mind your sankalpa, your intention. Closing the eyes, taking the focus inwards. Just for a second, and lighting on this gently. Just by giving it your attention, you're giving it a supercharged fertilizer, this seed, this intention. Good. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for your practice today. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you again, I hope.